My name is Jacob, also known as JKnaps, and I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm 23, and I'm here to play in Dusseldorf at the World Championship. It was around high school when I started playing Rocket League, and the very first time I realized, oh, I could actually do this for money, even though it's small, was there were these tournaments called Mock It. I remember just screaming down to my mom and my brother when I was I must have been 15 or something. I made $75 today or something, and just being really proud. I think my brother was really supportive of me because he tried to do it with another game, Call of Duty, when he was really young. And I think he saw me doing it as he was passing down the torch. I think at the end of the day, what I really care about if we win or lose is the pride that I feel and the legacy I leave behind as a pro player in Rocket League. There's a stigma in Rocket League where the older players are kind of fall off, and I think nowadays at these tournaments I just want to prove that it's not always the case. And this year, if I were to describe it, it's just been us kind of coasting. And I think also I had some personal things happen in Nova Scotia. There was a wildfire and my house unfortunately got burned down it was before the last regional. It was on the weekend, I'm not sure which day, but I was watching the EU regional at the time, and my brother, he sleeps in the basement, so his whole room's down there, and he came upstairs to me saying, did you hear about this fire? It was 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the road. And we got with our neighbors, and there was just a massive, it was half the sky was covered in smoke and ash. And we were just kind of talking with our neighbor, and he was saying pack a bag as soon as possible because it was a really dry day. And the fire was it was spreading quick. So we packed a bag, which was just clothes, for 2 days. And we got all the animals in our car and evacuated, honestly thinking we'd be there in 4 hours, going back home. Just because every wildfire that we've ever experienced got contained really quick. And that next morning, one of our good friends sent us a Facebook post that basically showed our street. And it was a street view of every single house on our street was burned down. And then me, my mom, my brother were just hugging and crying basically. Because I've lived there my whole life. So everything I ever owned was in that house. All the memories and everything. We had 2 cats, 2 dogs, and a small cottage. And one of the cats that I sent the photo of, we lost him on the first day of the fire because he's a very outdoor cat. So 9 days later after the fire, we got a message saying, we got your cat, because they were putting traps down. And that is that picture of me, my mom, and the cat that I'm holding. Very happy moment when we heard the news that they found him. It was at 11 at night or something. My mom started screaming. It definitely changes how your brain operates, especially seeing firsthand how fast the fire was spreading and how it could have gone bad. And honestly, at the end of the day, we lost our house, but everything was fine. The family was fine, our pets were fine. And I think the biggest thing that I took away from it was the support from friends, family, and the Rocket League community too. Everyone around me and my mom's life, my brother's life, everyone came together and helped us in some way, whether it was money or just food and toiletries after everything got burned down. I think that was the biggest thing that I took away was how much support we have. I think when I do have those feelings of self-doubt or just wanting to retire as a pro Rocket League player, I think the number one motivator would be my dad. My dad is always just pushing me to keep going, and I think this year has been tough for all 3 of us. We've had some problems like that, but even though the ups and downs have been happening this season, this is the most important tournament of the year, and giving 100% effort is a necessity. I think maybe I would say to my old self, this is basically what you dreamed of doing, so don't take advantage of it and realize the position you're in, because you are very lucky to play a video game for a living professionally and at the highest level. I think sometimes it can be hard and I would want to quit while being a pro, but just realizing how much work I put in to be here and how many other people would want to be in my position, I think just being grateful for everything.